Well, this video, I'm going to do one clip and see what you guys think. Just all one go and with no jump cuts, and let me know what you think. Usually I go over the Thursday night game first, but I'm not going to because it kind of sucks. So I'm going to go over the Saturday night game. Yep, I said it, the Saturday night game. I'm going with the Chargers versus the Kansas City Chiefs at Kansas City. The Chargers right now, I'm looking, are a 1-point favorite going into Kansas City. You got Kansas City, who did win against Oakland last week, but as you know, first half, played great, played awesome, looked like Kansas City was back. And then second half, they kind of fell apart. And Oakland, they let Oakland back in the game, and they did win it in the end, but the running back hasn't been as good in the second half of the season. Travis Kelce's been great, he's been healthy. You got Tyreek Hill, who's been pretty good, and you got Alex Smith, who's been pretty poor comparatively to the beginning of the season, which no one thought he would keep this pace going, but you got to kick it back to playoffs like level, which is what he usually does, to the point where you can maybe get to the AFC Championship and then lose. Maybe get there. Then you got the Chargers, who looked like crap at the beginning of the season, then have won like the last 5 or 6 or whatever it was. Now they're right in the playoff hunt. If they win this game, whoever wins this game is going to win the division, and I think the Chargers are going to win this division. You got Keenan Allen, who's been playing great as of late. You got Melvin Gordon, who's played great. You got Phillip Rivers, who's playing awesome football. And then you got the defense of the Chargers, who's played pretty darn well the last 6 games. So I'm picking the Chargers to win this game, and it's pretty simple. Next game to go over is the Packers versus the Panthers. You got the Packers right now going into Carolina, but hallelujah, hallelujah. You got the king back. You got Aaron Rodgers, the king, the best quarterback in the NFL right now, and Aaron Rodgers coming back, going to Carolina, trying to win out and maybe have a chance to make the playoffs. That's what they're trying to do. It's going to be really tough. You're playing Carolina, you're playing Minnesota, and you're playing Detroit. Two playoff teams. Well, one of them is a huge possibility in Carolina. One of them is definitely going to happen in Minnesota, and then maybe Detroit. But if Detroit gets in, then the Packers don't. So, yeah. They're on the edge. They're right where the Packers are. So those are 3 teams. If you beat those 3 teams, you're not just probably going to make the playoffs, because something will happen. Something crazy will happen in the NFL. I know there's a lot that has to happen for them to get in the Packers, but the first thing they have to do is win those first 3 games. And they're going to win this game against Carolina. Carolina did not look great last week. I'm sorry. They didn't. And they didn't look great the week before. Or the week before versus the Jets. I think it was 3 weeks ago they played the Jets, or 2 weeks ago. I forgot when I went to the game. But anyway, they did win the game. Big win for Carolina. And it really put them in a safer spot going into getting the wild card, and maybe even challenging the Saints for their division. Difference is, I don't think Cam Newton is good enough to beat Aaron Rodgers in a scoring duel, and I think Aaron Rodgers is going to be able to throw the ball all over the place, because Jordy Nelson and Randall Cobb, no coincidence obviously, wake up when he's the quarterback, and Davante Adams just does what Davante Adams does, and he's a very solid second wide receiver in the NFL. So I'm taking the Packers to win this game. Aaron Rodgers will put energy into that team that wasn't there with Brett Hundley. They will have faith again that they will win. The defense will have that energy, and they will trust that they can blitz and take some chances because they know Aaron Rodgers is on the other side of the ball. They're going to win this game. The Packers right now are 2.5-point underdogs. You take the Packers, and obviously the last game you take the Chargers and you take them -1 point. Next game I'm going to go over, I'm looking right now, is the Rams versus the Seahawks. You got Los Angeles going in there as an underdog, +2.5 points. Seattle is a very hard place to play with that 12th man. They've played pretty good defense without Earl Thomas or Richard Sherman. And you got Russell Wilson, who's probably my MVP candidate right now if I had to pick. Second place being Tom Brady. But I think Tom Brady, in most eyes, is winning it at the moment with Carson Wentz going down. So this is a hard game to pick, but I'm going to pick the Rams to win this game because I'm picking them because Seattle has the worst offensive line in the NFL, in my opinion. And the Rams have like the 3rd or 2nd best defensive line, in my opinion, with Aaron Donald. So you got the Rams with a great defense, and I think defense is going to win this game. You got Todd Gurley, who's going to punch it down their throat 20 to 25 times this game. Really make the game go at the Rams' speed, and Russell Wilson's going to be running all over the place. He's going to have a hard time throwing the ball. He's going to be under pressure constantly, and I think the Rams are just going to squeak this out by 3 points. You take the Rams +2.5 because of that defensive line, and because the offensive line is so terrible for the Seahawks. And the last game I'm going to go over is the New England Patriots versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. You got the Pittsburgh Steelers playing at home with a lot at stake. It's home field. If they win this game, they're 2 games up on the Patriots, and you got the Patriots. If they win this game, they're tied, but they have the tiebreaker. So whoever wins this game pretty much is going to win the first place home field advantage. So I'm picking the Patriots to win because coming off a loss, I'd rather play the Patriots off a win than a loss, because off a loss, they're angry, they're upset, and they just play so much better football. And you got the Steelers, who have been squeaking out wins against pretty okay teams, and I'm not really sold on them. And I know the Patriots can stop Antonio Brown. The way the Steelers win this game is Martavius Bryant and Juju Smith-Schuster show up. I know Le'Veon Bell is going to show up. I know Ben Roethlisberger is going to do the best he can, and he's going to show up. But I think this is going to be a shootout, and New England's going to win the shootout. Brandon Cooks is going to have a much better game than last week. Bob Gronkowski's going to have a much better game. And the Patriots are going to come in angry into Pittsburgh and win this game. They are right now 3-point favorites. You take them minus the 3 points. If you guys like this video, please subscribe and comment. Thanks so much for watching, and have a good week and a good weekend of football.